So today we're going to be looking at Unit 8, Day 3. So today we're just going to be focused on arithmetic, sequences, and series. So remember, arithmetic is when your pattern is adding a number each time or subtracting a number each time. And then sequences is our list of numbers, whereas a series is going to be our sum of our sequence. Okay, so we're just going to focus on arithmetic today for Day 3. So on this first part, it wants us to determine whether each sequence is arithmetic. And if it is, we want to find the common difference. Remember that the common difference is just what are you adding or what are you subtracting each time. And in the formula that we use for arithmetic, there's that value of D that stands for common difference. So we're trying to find D. Okay, so you need to know this, and these are not obvious here. So what I would do is if you take the second number and do 561 minus 525, that'll give us 36. Okay, and then if I check the next one, that'll also give us 36. So this just shows you that you're adding 36 each time. So some of these are not going to be obvious, like you're not going to be able to tell that, oh, they're adding 2 or something. So sometimes you need to take the second number and subtract it from the first number. Sorry, take the second number and then subtract the first number from it and see what they're adding, and then just try and see if it works. So if you were to try this again, if you add 36, that does work. So that means this is arithmetic. Okay, so it asks for that, and then it says what's the common difference. So the common difference here, we're adding 36, so the common difference would be a positive 36. Okay, so if you look at the second one, trying to figure out if it's arithmetic, and if it is, we're going to tell what the common difference is. So because we're doing arithmetic, let's just worry about what it's adding. So from here to here, we're adding 5. From here to here, we're adding 10. From here to here, we're adding 20. So we do not have a constant number there. So it is not going to be arithmetic. Now that's all it asks for what we're doing right this second, but you can see that they are multiplying each time by 2. So it's really going to be geometric. And remember with geometric we talked about a ratio instead of a common difference, and that ratio would be 2 because you're multiplying by 2. Okay? But so arithmetic has to add or subtract whatever number that you're adding or subtracting. That's called the common difference. And it's the letter D that we're going to use in the formula. Okay, so it says the explicit formula for the nth term a sub n of an arithmetic series, and that is the formula that's on your formula sheet. So let me refer you back to here. So arithmetic, a sub n right here. That's the same formula that we have there. So we're just going to make these things a little bit more complicated than when they happen today, but it's essentially what we've been looking at for the past 2 days. So we want to find an explicit formula. So explicit formula is this formula. It's the formula on your formula sheet. For a sub n for this arithmetic sequence. So they're telling you it's arithmetic, so you got to keep that in mind. And then we're going to use this formula to find the 25th term. Okay, so they're telling us a sub 1 is 6 and a sub 5 is 18. Okay, they did tell us that it's arithmetic, and they would have to give you this information for you to be able to do this problem. Okay, so what you're going to do first, if you know it's arithmetic, we know we're going to need a common difference. So to get the common difference when you don't have the sequence written out, you're going to subtract in the numerator. So we're going to do this 18 minus this 6. And then in the denominator, you're going to subtract what term it is. So we're going to do 5 minus 1. Now, it really doesn't matter which one goes first. Just make sure you're consistent. So if you do 18 minus 6, you have to do 5 minus 1. Whereas if you would have done 6 minus 18, then you would do 1 minus 5. So just be consistent with that. So 18 minus 6 is 12. 5 minus 1 is 4. So my common difference is going to be 3. Okay. So let's think about the formula that we're using here. So we know it's arithmetic, so we're using the formula from our formula sheet, or it's up here at the top. So a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And we're just trying to write the formula. So we don't want to put anything for a sub n. That is our formula. Remember, a sub 1 stands for the first term. Well, luckily we have the first term here. So we have that as 6 plus n is the variable that we're going to keep. and then our common difference we just found, which was 3. So then we could just simplify this out by distributing that 3. So our a sub n, or our explicit formula, is going to be 3n plus 3. Alright, it did say they wanted us to find the 25th term. Well, because you have the explicit formula, remember to find whatever term they want, you just plug it in. So if we want to find the 25th term, we'll just plug in 25. So for the 25th term, we'll have 75 plus 3, so we'll end up with 78. Alright, so keep in mind, these problems they're going to give you, instead of just writing out the sequence, they're going to give you certain term numbers in the sequence, and we have to work backwards to make our explicit formula. So, taking a look at number 4, we still want to write an explicit formula for this arithmetic sequence, so we know it's arithmetic. Let's go ahead and do this. So we know it's arithmetic, and because we're writing the explicit formula, we want to use this formula a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. That's the formula we have to use. Then we're going to find the 25th term. Okay, so on number 4, they tell us a sub 3 is 24 and a sub 6 is 9. So we're going to, I always start out by finding the common difference. So to find the common difference, we're going to subtract. So I normally just take the second one first. So I want to do 9 minus 24. So because I did that 9 first, then I'm going to do 6 minus 3. Okay, so 9 minus 24 gives us negative 15. 6 minus 3 gives us 3. So we're going to end up with negative 5 as our common difference. Okay, so we have the common difference now. The other thing that we're going to need is a sub 1, which is the first term. Well, they did not give it to us this time. So what you're going to do, if they didn't give you the first term, you're going to have to find it. So to find the first term, we are actually going to use our explicit formula here. And we're going to work backwards. So you can either pick the first term they gave you or the second. It does not matter. It will give you the same answer. But I'm going to use a sub 3 here. So I know a sub 3 is 24. So I'm going to put that here. I don't know a sub 1. Because I'm doing a sub 3, that means the n value there is 3. And I just found my common difference is negative 5. So what we're doing, because we didn't have a sub 1, we're taking one of the points. It doesn't matter which one you use. Whatever that a sub 3 here is, 24, and you're going to put 3 for that n value. So we're going to simplify this out. So we're going to have 2 times negative 5, so that'll give us negative 10. And so if we add that over, a sub 1 is going to be 34. So now, the two things we needed were a sub 1, which we have, and d to make our explicit formula. So now we can make our explicit formula. So a sub n equals a sub 1 we said is 34 plus n minus 1, and the common difference was negative 5. So we can just distribute out that negative 5. And then if we combine like terms, we'll end up with negative 5n plus 39. So this is our explicit formula. If you wanted to check your work, if you want to check if your steps were right, you could now, if you wanted to plug in maybe 6 and see if that gives you 9, because that was what your a sub 6 is. Okay, but they still want us to find the 25th term. So to do a sub 25, you're just going to plug in 25 for n. And if you do that, it should give you negative 86. Okay. So we have another one of these. Same type of thing for number 5. So for number 5, they're telling us this arithmetic again, which everything we're doing today is, but when it's not, you got to make sure you pay attention. So this is the formula we're essentially using because we want to write an explicit formula. They tell you a sub 6 is 20 and a sub 12 is 38. So this is similar, very, very similar to the last problem. We're missing a sub 1 and we're missing the common difference. So I'm going to find the common difference first. So I'm going to subtract my 38 minus 20. And then I'm going to do my 12 minus 6. So 38 minus 20 will give us 18. 12 minus 6 will give us 6. So my common difference is going to be 3. Okay, we have common difference now. We do not have a sub 1. So to get a sub 1, you are going to use that explicit formula from the formula sheet. Pick whichever point you want. I typically always pick the first one. So I'm going to use a sub 6. Well, we know a sub 6 is 20. We do not know a sub 1. Because we did a sub 6, we want to put 6 for n. And we just figured out our common difference was 3. So we're going to have 20 equals a sub 1 plus, this will be 5 times 3, so 15. If we subtract 15 over, our a sub 1 is going to be 5. So now we have the common difference and we have our a sub 1. So we are ready to write our explicit formula. So a sub n equals, a sub 1 is 5. Going to keep n minus 1. Common difference is 3. So now I can distribute out that 3. And then if we combine like terms, we'll end up with a sub n equals 3n plus 2. And once again, it wanted me to find that 25th term. So a sub 25, we're just going to plug in 25. So for a sub 25, we'll get 77. Okay, so what we did on those past problems is we wrote the explicit formula. Explicit formula is the formula on the formula sheet. We were given just 2 numbers in the sequence, and we had to work backwards to figure out what the actual explicit equation was going to be.